In addition to theory and me just talking about these things, there's also a lab component to this where we go into each of these sections from 1 through 6 and we set up examples and we actually do them. So what the first is I explain them, and the second aspect of this is the lab. So the first aspect is access, how to access in the cloud. How do you protect your users? How do you make follow best practices when it comes to users and resources? Then I'm going to talk about web protection. How do you protect against OWASP attacks and volumetric attacks? Then I'm going to talk about data encryption. How do you set up in transit as opposed to at rest encryption and using secret manager, or if you're in Azure, using Key Vault. Then we're going to talk about network security, such as firewall, VPCs, public and private subnets, route tables, access control lists. We're going to talk about those things. Security groups to your containers. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about host and runtime protection. For example, your container, when it runs, scanning the image. We need to scan the image to ensure that you are not leaving yourself open to dangerous attackers in your Docker file. Following best practices. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk, and then finally we're going to finish off with monitoring and logging. How do you log your application? What are the best examples of using container insights, for example, in AWS? You know, just focusing specifically, a lot of these examples that I'm going to focus on during the lab would be using AWS specifically, but the concept is the same throughout all other cloud providers.